great question about this hot new supplement, phosphatidic acid. Is it really able to stimulate muscle growth? What is it? Is it well proven to do so? And how does it work? And how much should I take? Well, if you guys want the gist of the video, for those of you who aren't nerds, like me, we're going to nerd out at the end. Phosphatidic acid is a type of fat that you find in the membranes of our cells. Our body makes it, and you can find it in foods like fish, egg yolk, that's pasture-raised eggs especially, things like radish leaves, cabbage, also peanuts, right? And there are many other foods too. But what it does, it acts on some pathway that promotes muscle growth. And so hypothetically, you would think that taking phosphatidic acid at 750 milligrams a day, which these trials typically use, anywhere from 500 to that, would increase your muscle size and strength. Some have shown it to do so, but we need some more research in humans. So that is the gist of it for you guys that just want the gist. For those of you who are nerds like me, we got something for you. How does it work? What is it? And what's going on with it, right? So phosphatidic acid is a phospholipid. Phospholipids, we know, well, phosphate group, right? P bound to 4 oxygen. And lipid is a fat, right? And so typically unsaturated fats, of course. And, you know, these are in cell membranes. They're in all our cell membranes. And the cell membrane function is important for a wide array of purposes. One of them would be subsurface receptors getting through that membrane to bind all sorts of chemicals that will tell the inside of the cell to respond in some way to make us maybe remember something, or to contract a muscle, or to grow in size, or to act in some relaxed manner, or to focus, or anything, right? And so it's important that this phospholipid, it acts on the cell membrane. It's part of the cell membrane. So it's involved, of course, in cell signaling and cell membrane dynamics, right? Now, it increases, or at least it acts on a pathway called the mTOR pathway, does phosphatidic acid. And the mTOR pathway stands for Mammalian Target of Rapamycin. So what the hell is that? Well, it's a pathway that, in simple, is involved in cell growth and metabolism. And when this pathway is acted on, it stimulates MPS, also known as muscle protein synthesis. And that is where our amino acids, or building blocks of proteins in our muscles, kind of come together and they build proteins in the muscle, aka they build more muscle, right? And so that's one way in which our muscles grow, is definitely through MPS, majorly, and it's stimulated in many different ways, but through this mTOR pathway. So you might be wondering, well, what naturally has phosphatidic acid instead of just taking a supplement, because food first, right? And lifestyle and things. And how do I stimulate that mTOR pathway naturally? Well, phosphatidic acid stimulates that mTOR pathway in response to resistance training and proper nutrient availability. So without either of those, probably won't stimulate it quite as much. So you do need to work out if you're going to take it. You can naturally find it, again, to reiterate, in things like egg yolk. You want to go for pasture-raised eggs. Fatty fish, right? Salmon would be great. Tuna, herring, trout, all that kind of stuff. Also in radish leaves, cabbage, peanuts, other nuts and seeds, other plant-based foods, a lot of stuff like that. Now, our bodies make it as well. Do they? Phosphatidic acid. In terms of increasing the mTOR activation, or acting on the mTOR pathway, we can do that with resistance training. We can do that with having more protein, especially animal protein that's high in L-leucine. That's the amino acid most intimately involved in MPS, muscle protein synthesis, so building muscle. That's why we always say we love leucine when it comes to building muscle. And that's why you take twice as much of it, guys, when you take BCAAs, right, as isoleucine and valine, the other branched chain amino acids, aka BCAAs. And sleep would also help to activate the mTOR pathway, right? So you definitely want to get more sleep. That promotes anabolism, and obviously is really great for your brain and your whole body, right? Without getting too far into that, what do we have in terms of human clinical trials? Because we did say in the beginning of this video that we do need some more research. Well, we definitely do, but some of the results are quite frankly insane, at least from this one, which I could post the link. It was NIH study, so it's pretty legit. Weren't that many participants. I think there were like a few hundred or something like that. But they had these people take 750 milligrams of phosphatidic acid daily for 8 weeks. And from baseline, they gained over 5 pounds of lean body mass, of muscle mass, which is mind-blowing. So it seems too good to be true, right? And they increased their, I think it was leg press, they evaluated their strength with, by over 100 pounds, closer to 115 pounds actually, over 8 weeks with 750 milligrams a day. So you're like, holy shit, where do I sign? You know? Well, not so fast, because another trial showed increases in both of these parameters. That is muscle size and strength, but not nearly to the same degree, and it was with the same dosage. So, you know, what do we really got in terms of recommendation for muscle growth and, you know, for improving strength? Well, it's not a top option. In fact, Examine doesn't list it as a primary, secondary, or promising option. It's not even on the list. So I actually emailed them today because I was curious. When I looked into the research, there's virtually no side effects to taking phosphatidic acid, as our body's naturally produced, and you find in those foods. But in those foods, by the way, it's in low amounts. So you would need so much of those foods to get a lot of phosphatidic acid. And maybe that's partially why when you're supplementing with it at this dosage of 750 milligrams, you know, it's having some substantial effect, at least purportedly, right? So they got back to me and they gave me some like AI answer that I already searched on there. So I asked them again, and they said they're going to ask the research team. So I'll get back to you guys on that, because it's super cool. As an Examine member, I could like ask some stuff like that. You know, it's fun. Pre-VIP, what's going on? But no, so it's definitely something that is promising. But our top options in terms of muscle gain and improving exercise performance, we know are creatine, beta-alanine, protein, carbs, and caffeine, right? So really, you know, protein, carbs, and you don't necessarily need a lot of carbs. We do a whole video on that. You can produce glycogen. Without them, it's not directly involved in muscle protein synthesis. You know, is it carbohydrate, right? It's amino acid. So, you know, it's more protein, creatine. Those are probably top two. Beta-alanine's up there as well, right, to date. And then you have things like BCAAs as secondary options, nitrates. You know, the sodium bicarbonate, I think, made that list recently. And there's something else on there. But, you know, it's something that we're going to keep looking at the research on, right? We're going to keep up to date. And we'll let you guys know if anything changes. Doesn't seem like it could hurt to take it, but talk to your doctor before you take anything. And that's what we got for you guys. Phosphatidic acid. Who do we got out here? Say what's up to everybody. You know, rock and roll. Eat more food. Meg, what's up, baby? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that cool? Ma, I love you. What's up? Hey. Moonbo, Paul, what's up? How you doing, brother? Danielle. Kurt, what's up, dude? How you doing, cuz? Good to see you, man. Check him out. This guy's great, Kurt Martino. He knows his shit. He is his product. He'll help you if you're looking to transform your body or, you know, get into nutrition and fitness, right? Anything like that. So hit him up, Kurt Martino _ Jose Manuel, what's going on in Sivia? As for now, so we got for you folks. We'll see you tomorrow, baby. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you very much. What's up, Pete? How you doing, brother? I'll see you on the flip side, man. I'll see you Friday. Zero Limit Fitness. Master Ben, how you doing, beast? You got to rewatch this one. It's pretty cool. Phosphatidic acid for muscle growth. Long story short, we need some more research, but preliminary research, pretty damn promising. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Gee! Love you, man.